better. Excuse me, excuse me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can probably tell, I am very congested. I've been sick for like 2 whole weeks now. It's been the death of me. I got sick like 2 weeks ago, and then I thought I was feeling better. I went to Mexico for my friend's wedding. It was a lovely time. And then I got back home and I was like, okay, I'm just congested, but I feel like I'm getting better. I'm on the mend. And then I got sick again. Now I'm still congested. So it's been a wild ride. But because I've been sick, I have not really been filming. I haven't really been reading much either. I did pick up a couple of books, but again, I'm not where I want to be at for this channel and for my reading goals. Hopefully, knock on wood, I'm actually on the mend this time. But I wanted to make this video and give you guys an update and talk about my summer TBR because I'm really excited and hopefully I will be all better and able to read a bunch this summer. That is my goal. So let's go ahead and get into it and catch you guys up. So I did begin filming like a whole reading vlog of reading books that friends have recommended to me, and that's around the time that I started getting sick. I was absolutely dreadful on camera. I also had some camera issues. Anyways, we scrapped that footage. We're not going there. But for the purpose of updating you guys, these are the books that I picked up. So I picked up Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This was a recommendation from my best friend in the whole entire world, Alyssa, and she loves this series. I see why. But if you've been on my channel, then you know that contemporary romances just are not my thing. For some reason, the fictional contemporary world just drives me crazy. I find that if I'm reading a contemporary book, any contemporary book, I want it to have its basis in reality. And time again, when I pick up contemporary novels, especially contemporary romances, I find that the events and the love stories within them just are so fictional, and my brain just cannot compute, because if it's contemporary, I want it to feel like it's rooted in reality and that these things could possibly happen. But for some reason in contemporary romances, they just seem so fictional to me. I lose focus and I end up just DNFing, or I make fun of the book entirely. And this was kind of the case for Binding 13. I could not for the life of me believe that these male characters were speaking to each other in a way that I just don't believe men speak to each other. It just lost me on that front. This was kind of like a soft DNF for me. Maybe I will pick it up. I did get like halfway through the book. Maybe I'll pick it up when I want a palate cleanser. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. I did have a good time in the beginning of it though, and I really liked Gibbsy. He's probably my favorite character. Gibbsy was just too funny, but hitting the middle, it was just like this middle slump. Honestly, between reading this book and then also being sick, I just kept falling asleep after like reading 2-3 paragraphs. My eyes were just so heavy laden. And then I also started and finished Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews, which was recommended to me by my book talk bestie, Anastasyia. So thank you, Anastasyia. This was a great read. This book was really messed up. On so many levels. But it was a suspenseful ride of what is going to happen with these characters, what is going to happen for this family. If you don't know what Flowers in the Attic is about, I didn't do Binding 13, but I feel like everyone knows what Binding 13 is about, so I'm just gonna skip over that one. But if you don't know what Flowers in the Attic is about, it's about a seemingly perfect family who ends up facing a significant tragedy in their lives and is forced to live with their maternal grandparents with hopes that they're able to receive the fortune that is their blood right. Lies, betrayal, puberty with no guidance, like so many things are happening in this book, and it is wild, it is deeply disturbing, and it was a really fun and engaging read. I had an absolute blast going to Anastasyia and being like, what is happening? Oh my gosh, this just happened. So yeah, so this one was a really fun read. It is in a series, so I think I may continue on with this series. This was a good one. And then I am currently buddy reading with Anastasyia as well, and we are reading A Court of Silver Flames. I just got to part 2, and I think it's interesting because this story is very similar to ACOTAR, ACOMOF, ACOWAR, but in one book and with different characters. And if you've read it, like, you know, you probably already know this, but like the story is so similar to the rest of the series, where I am enjoying it and I'm very curious to see Nesta's overall growth as a character, because she's not on my good side. She's getting there, but she has not been on my good side. But I'm curious to see what her powers are. I'm curious to see everything that happens with her character arc and her story in general. But it is like a little bit of a letdown just knowing that there's nothing really new here. Like, there's nothing new going on. It's almost like watching like one of those like crime TV shows, CSI or like Criminal Minds, NCIS, where it's just kind of like the same thing happens in every episode, and maybe like one thing is off, or you know, the crimes are different or something, but eventually after so many seasons it just kind of repeats. And that's kind of what this book is feeling like for me. Not to say that I'm not enjoying it, because I am. It's basically the same old. But I am having a tremendous time talking with my book bestie about it and going over kind of the craziness that's ensuing in A Court of Silver Flames. But yeah, so I'm currently in the middle of reading this. And another hunker of a book that I'm currently in the middle of is Stephen King's Wolves of the Calla. It's the 5th book after the Novella in the Dark Tower series, and I just take my sweet time reading these. I don't know why, but there's always like one character's monologue that lasts for so many pages, at least 20, if not like 100 and so, 200 or so pages of each book. And it just throws me off. It gets me out of my groove. I lose interest, I lack engagement, and I just put it down. And then when I come back to it and I finally finish that part of the book, I'm invested again. Things are amping up. Stakes are high. Shit is hitting the fan. Everything and everyone is going bonkers. Like, so much is happening and I can't put it down. And so that's kind of like my relationship with this series thus far, is that I'm on and off with it, but it's so good. Like, I cannot wait to get to the end. But apparently I can wait, because I'm taking my sweet time reading it. But I'm also about halfway through this one as well. So I'm currently trying to finish these 2 books. That's my little update, if you guys care to know. Now on to my summer TBR. So I've been seeing everyone and their mother posting spring TBR. I don't understand if we just live in different areas or what, but like where I live, like we're going into summer. We're not in spring. We kind of just bypass spring. We have like maybe a month of spring. Like, we don't really have spring. So I'm going to share with you guys my summer TBR. So when I was thinking about making this video, I had already kind of like some books that I knew I wanted to read this summer. And then I talked to my best friend Alyssa. She came up with this brilliant, albeit terrifying idea to go ahead and buddy read A Little Life. I'm excited, but I'm also mildly terrified. I don't even know what to say about this one. I think I'm going to cry a lot. I think I'm going to be inconsolable for a matter of days, if not weeks. And I don't think I'll ever be prepared for this book. Although having the confidence of my bestie saying it's okay, we'll read it together might be exactly what I needed. I don't know. I hope so. Yeah, so we're gonna read this together once I finish my current reads and see where A Little Life takes us. And then to top it off, Alyssa also wants me to read Confessions by Kanai Minato. Anyways, this is a thriller revenge story about a mother whose child was murdered, and now she is seeking revenge on a classroom of students. That's all I know. I am excited about this one. On the thriller train, I also have Bunny by Mona Awad that I do want to read. This is about a girl who recognizes this group of girls called the Bunnies at school, I want to say. Yep, a university. And they are actually in a cult, and she ends up traversing into this cult of bunnies and spiraling deeper and deeper into the cult tactics and world of which the bunnies live in. I'm super excited for this. Kind of sounds a little bit like The Girls by Emma Cline. I do really want to pick this one up this summer. I also have been dying to read The Secret History. I've heard this one is kind of like a dark academia psychological thriller about these students. I want to say that they're all in this drama class trying to get into their characters. I want to say there's some method acting going on, and they take it a little bit too far, and one of them, I presume, ends up killing another. There's mystery. Sounds like there's suspense, there's some thrill. I'm down to read it. I've heard such great things. Continuing on the thriller train, I have The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I feel like The Da Vinci Code, I mean, it says it on the title, like #1 worldwide bestseller. So I feel like it's just notorious. I feel like it's a crime to not read The Da Vinci Code, so I want to get to it this summer. We've got a lot of thrillers on the list. Another one is a psychological thriller, My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I've been really wanting to read this one. If you don't know what it's about, it's a dual timeline between a young student who ends up engaging in sexual relations with her teacher, and all for it to come about at a later time that it was more so sexual molestation and grooming behaviors elicited by the teacher that started the relationship. And what ends up developing after that, I don't know, but I'm interested to find out. So we've got this on the TBR. And then I think to like recover from all of these like really messed up books, because we're not entering summer with like happy spirits in this TBR. So I also have The Martian by Andy Weir. I read Project Hail Mary in my last reading vlog and I absolutely adored it. It was so good, and I'm into sci-fi now, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Then I also want to read Spin by Robert Charles Wilson. It is in a series, but I don't know, it's another sci-fi book that sounded really good on Goodreads, and I'm down for it. There's actually a sequel to Ready Player One called Ready Player Two, so I also want to read that one. That's also on my TBR. Really getting into sci-fi, you guys. I'm so down for it. So down. And then apart from sci-fi, I want some happy, feel-good kind of stories as well. So I do want to read Beartown by Frederick Bachman. It's a small town, hockey town. I'm sure the characters are going to be lovely, and I'm so down to read something just like a little bit more rooted in reality that's not super messed up like some of my other TBR. Then as some palette cleansers, I do want to read some other contemporary romances. Again, I'm giving it a shot. And I feel like the summertime is usually when these books get really, really popular. I'm going to give Happy Place by Emily Henry a go, as well as Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez, or another Abby Jimenez book. I'm not really sure. I may look around and see one, but I know Fall Risk just came out this year, so I may give that a go. So those are going to be like some contemporary romances that I might give a try. I really want to go to the beach this summer. I'll probably read one of these at the beach. I also want kind of like a cozy fantasy. So I thought about adding The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune to my TBR. I just heard that this book was really good. I don't really know much about it except that it's kind of like a cozy fantasy. It seems really sweet, and I'm down. I think the second book, Under the Whispering Door, just came out this year as well, so I'm getting more into series that I shouldn't be, but what you gonna do? I'm not gonna pick them up, but they're back there for like a YA, again, kind of palette cleanser. I'm thinking of picking up the Shatter Me series. I've heard mixed reviews about the series as a whole, but I've heard pretty good reviews about the first 3 books, so I figure I'll start with the first 3. If I don't really like them, then I probably might nix the rest of the series. Comment down below if that's a good or bad decision. I'm not really sure, but again, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, so that's kind of like my game plan going forward. Let me know if I should change that. I've also been interested in a lot of like mythology books. They are stacking up on my TBR. And if you've also seen my latest like Barnes shopping video, I did pick up Lilith by Nikki Mamery. I also picked up prior to that Circe by Madeline Miller, and I'm like also wanting to read A Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So I think I'm in it and I want to read it. There's also another book on my Goodreads TBR, Clytemnestra. How do you say that? I'm not saying that right at all.
Clytemnestra.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to put all 4 of those books on my summer TBR, but I definitely want to get to these 2 for sure since they are on my physical TBR already. Other like new releases that are coming out in summer that I'm really looking forward to: Calabasas by R.F. Kuang. This book just sounds really good. It's about like two students going on this journey to hell to save their professor, and that whole premise just intrigues me, so I'm really looking forward to when Calabasas comes out. I'm also looking forward to this August because Accomplice to the Villain in the Assistant to the Villain series is coming out, and I'm so ready for that. It's just a very cozy, lighthearted fantasy that's just so very fun and entertaining. Where's a tissue? I don't even know how many books I just listed, but I'll probably put the total like somewhere over here. But yeah, those are the books on my summer TBR, the ones that I'm really looking forward to. And I bet there's gonna be more as well because my TBR just keeps getting longer and longer and longer the more that I read. I think that's just kind of the bane of being a reader. But I'm really looking forward to this summer because I have a lot of good picks. And I'm just really looking forward to putting a serious dent on my physical TBR because I mean, like, come on, like that's a good sized dent for this year. So go ahead and let me know what is on your summer TBR. What are your top 3 books that you're most looking forward to reading? And what are you currently reading? Anyways, thank you guys so much for bearing with me while I was sick. Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you like seeing book content, if you like to read, please don't forget to like this video, go ahead and subscribe. And until next time, happy reading. My nose is so red. I'm just slowly dying. God, this is bad. Bad.